A routine bank visit turns into an unexpected battle for respect when one woman is judged solely by her appearance. As tensions escalate, the employees have no idea they're humiliating the very person who signs their paychecks. What happens when she finally reveals who she really is? Let us know in the comments section below. Lauren Hayes stepped into the bank, her sneakers softly squeaking against the polished tile floor. The air inside was crisp, unnaturally cold, reminding customers they were in a place of business. It was just another errand, a simple task that should have taken no more than 10 minutes. Yet the moment she entered, she felt the shift in the atmosphere. The security guard near the entrance subtly adjusted his posture. The teller at the front counter glanced briefly at her before dismissing her with his eyes as if she were invisible. Lauren had experienced this before. Dressed in basic black leggings, an oversized hoodie, and a baseball cap pulled low over her braided hair, Lauren appeared to be any other woman running errands on her day off. There were no designer labels, no expensive jewelry, nothing obvious indicating wealth. Just comfort and practicality, which apparently was the issue. Lauren walked up to the sign-in kiosk, entering details for a substantial withdrawal that required in-person verification. It was routine for her, yet as she waited with fingers lightly resting on the counter, she saw an older white woman enter behind her, who was immediately waved forward by a smiling teller. A man in an expensive suit, holding nothing but his phone, was quickly escorted to a private banking area. But Lauren waited. Minutes stretched by, her patience thinning, though she maintained a neutral expression. It wasn't the first time she'd been overlooked, underestimated even within her own company. This branch belonged to her. She had built this bank from scratch, turning it into a billion-dollar empire. Lauren was the founder, CEO, and the highest authority within the corporation. Yet here she stood, ignored in the very institution bearing her name. Finally, a teller in her early 20s named Nicole approached, wearing a forced smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Can I help you?" Lauren tilted her head calmly. "I'm here to make a withdrawal." Nicole glanced briefly at the screen, displaying Lauren's details, then nodded dismissively. "I need to see your ID." Lauren slid her driver's license across the counter. Nicole barely looked at it. "Do you have proof of account ownership? A debit card, checkbook?" Lauren exhaled slowly, irritation edging into her voice. "I have my online banking app, my account details, and this same ID I used to set up my account. That should suffice." Nicole hesitated, skepticism deepening. "Just a moment," she said tersely, disappearing into the back office. Lauren watched as Nicole whispered urgently to another teller, then approached the branch manager, a middle-aged man named Stephen Walker in a navy blue suit. He glanced over at Lauren suspiciously, clearly judging her by appearance alone. Lauren felt her stomach tighten, not with fear, but familiarity. They saw a black woman requesting a significant withdrawal and jumped to conclusions. After several more minutes, Stephen Green, the branch manager, approached Lauren, his forced smile just as empty as Nicole's. "Ms. Hayes," he began politely, returning her ID. "I'm sorry, but we have a policy on large cash withdrawals. We need further verification." Lauren raised an eyebrow, keeping her voice steady. "I provided my ID. What more do you need?" "For security purposes," Stevens said smoothly, "we typically require advance notice for significant withdrawals." Lauren's jaw tightened slightly. "That isn't your policy. It's a case-by-case decision," he countered smoothly. "Unfortunately, we can't proceed at this time." Lauren felt the stares from around the bank, the security guard subtly placing a hand near his belt, tellers whispering, and customers casting uneasy glances her way. She could have forced the issue or made a scene. Instead, she chose patience. She wanted to see how far they would go. Crossing her arms calmly, Lauren spoke clearly, her voice firm but measured. "So, you're implying I don't have access to my own funds?" Stephen's polite mask faltered briefly. "It's about procedure, Ms. Hayes." Lauren's tone sharpened slightly. "And if I were someone else, dressed differently, would I be having this issue?" His face twitched, clearly understanding her point, but choosing denial. "Of course not. Lauren decided, then, to reveal exactly whom they were disrespecting. Calmly pulling out her phone, she dialed swiftly. Stephen watched, uncertain but growing increasingly anxious. The call connected almost instantly. "Hello, MS. Hayes, how may I assist?" the voice answered. Lauren met Stephen's gaze squarely. "I'm currently standing in one of our bank branches, being refused access to my own funds. Perhaps you'd like to inform your staff exactly who I am." Stephen's face paled instantly. "MS. Hayes," the voice on the other end prompted, the air thick with tension. Lauren calmly placed the call on speaker. "I'm at the downtown location, being denied access because I don't fit the case-by-case requirements." The voice, now clearly agitated, demanded, "Put me on speaker." Lauren complied without hesitation. Stephen, the voice of the chief operating officer, Ryan Daniels, cut sharply through the bank silence. "Would you like to explain why you're refusing service to our CEO?" Gasps spread across the room. A teller dropped her pen. Customers murmured in shock, and Stephen's complexion went ghostly white. Ryan continued, his voice stern. "Did none of you bother to verify who you were speaking to? Or was it simply easier to assume the worst?" Stephen stammered helplessly. "I assure you, Mr. Daniels." Ryan's voice was firm. "This woman is the reason you all have jobs. She built this bank from nothing, and every single dollar passing through your hands exists because of her. Did none of you bother checking her identity properly? Or was it simpler to assume she didn't belong?" Lauren calmly retrieved her ID from the counter. "I wasn't looking for a scene today," she addressed Stephen and Nicole firmly. "But what occurred here is a reflection of deeper bias within this institution, and frankly, Stephen, it renders you unfit to manage this branch." Stephen looked stricken. Ryan concluded decisively. "You're done, Stephen. Expect an official HR notice immediately. And for the rest, I'll personally review every transaction from this branch. If there's even one more case like this, expect severe consequences." Lauren, phone call ended, addressed Nicole gently but seriously. "You're young. You have time to change. Make sure you use it." Nicole nodded, shaken, tearful but clearly impacted. Finally, with her withdrawal in hand, Lauren exited the bank, feeling the palpable shift. No longer overlooked or underestimated, she left with dignity, knowing this lesson would resonate deeply. On the sidewalk, Nicole caught up, apologizing sincerely and promising change. Lauren accepted cautiously, urging deeper understanding rather than superficial remorse. Lauren drove away, planning systemic changes within her company. This wasn't about a single branch or manager. It was about changing the culture. She knew this fight wouldn't end today, but today she'd made certain they learned the lesson clearly. Real change had just begun, and Lauren Hayes intended to ensure they never forgot it.